They say money can't buy happiness, but I've always thought I can lease it indefinitely, especially if you have $1 trillion to spend. I didn't plan to make headlines when I bought the painting of Jesus Christ. I just thought, Leonardo da Vinci doesn't paint every day. $450 million later, people started asking, where'd the painting go? Honestly, I'm not sure. Maybe it's hanging in my yacht's dining room. When you make a purchase that large, everyone wants to compete. The Qatari royals were ready to outbid me. They called it a cultural treasure. I called it Tuesday. Anyway, the painting started a bit of a collection. The kind that doesn't fit on a gallery wall. Soon there was hundreds of millions worth of canvases, sculptures, and things that critics call priceless, which is a very polite way to say too expensive for anybody else. Collecting art was just the beginning. So I bought the Chateau Louis XIV, $320 million of French architecture, fountains, and excessive symmetry. 50,000 acres of gardens, grand ballrooms, and a moat with an underwater meditation room. Sometimes enlightenment requires hydraulics. There's my wine cellar, theater. I got 2 ballrooms, you name it. This is my underwater meditation room. I have koi, sturgeon. I can have a cup of coffee and be underwater. Like I said, 50,000 acres of gardens, 50,000 acres of gardens, grand ballrooms, and a moat with an underwater meditation room, because sometimes enlightenment requires hydraulics. The estate makes Versailles look modest, which I assure you was not my intention, but I'm not complaining. When you own a palace that size, you don't visit, you orbit. Every corner of the chateau whispers you've arrived. And occasionally you're paying too much for landscaping. Well, naturally, one chateau, it leads to another. Yeah, the underwater meditation. Hey. So, eventually, I added a few more homes. You know, when you get a house like this, everybody wants to visit. Ping, Putin, you name it. Hey. I added the Yamaha Palace, and marble floors, Italian marble floors, gold ceilings, enough chandeliers to light a small nation. People joke that my palace has gold-plated Kleenex dispensers. They're wrong. They're solid gold. The Urquhart Palace wasn't far behind another masterpiece in overstatement. There's certain satisfaction in knowing that even my dining utensils have a higher market value than most apartments. But property gets lonely without a way to escape it. Even this place in New York had a beautiful views, the tallest residential building in New York. I took a few floors there, as you might imagine. I bought a little stake in Uber, but of course, I got my own cars. So the property gets lonely without a way to escape it, so that's where the cars and the planes come in. I've got a beauty I love the most. It's my Bugatti Chiron. I got a fantastic deal on this, only $3 million. 0 to 60 in just 2.4 seconds. But then I needed a Lamborghini Aventador and a McLaren P1, and then I got a gold-plated Rolls-Royce Phantom. That's for days when silver just feels poor. Well, anyway. Cars are one thing, but if you gotta get someplace far, you gotta have a few planes. So when the roadway ends, the runway begins. A customized Airbus A380, $450 million of airborne indulgence. It's got a garage on board because sometimes I land, I can't be bothered to leave my car behind. There's also a Boeing 747, but that's mostly for my errands. With so many toys, you start wondering what else to do. Right? So I bought a football club, Newcastle United, $380 million. We played Manchester United. I put it all through the public investment fund. We signed some big players. The fans were thrilled. The accountants, slightly less so. But championships came, and everybody wanted to be my friend. Everybody says hi, but nobody more than some of the big stars that we signed for the Saudi team and for my Newcastle United team. But I wanted to do a little bit for philanthropy, for a little charity. So I gave every one of my players who won the national Saudi championship a $500,000 Euro Rolls Royce Phantoms. Some give medals. I prefer keys. Then comes the yachts. Pegasus was first. A kingdom on water. $200 million. Beautiful staterooms, living room, bedrooms. I don't know how many I have. Gold plated, everything. Spa, 24 karat gold infused oils, theater room, dining table for a big or small army. $200 million. I thought that was the end of it until I realized Pegasus was frankly too small. So I bought Serene. $550 million floating city. It's a beautiful yacht. I tour the French Riviera for 24 guests. Each have their own stateroom. Beautiful spa, gym, another theater. Because, I had to have a helicopter and I put a submarine on it as well. It's got everything like a 5-star resort, including swimming pools, spas, and views forever. $550 million is enough. I could have bought a city or an island. But now, after all that, I realized Pegasus was just a little tiny rowboat. So I decided to upgrade. And I polished the gold, expanded the decks, I upgraded the absurdity. A yacht should always feel ashamed of its own success, don't you agree? Of course, when you spend that much, you start to think bigger. Sports teams, golf leagues, cities. I wanted to do something with the money from my country's economy. So, Formula One, World Wrestling. I did all this through the Public Investment Fund, which we've invested over $600 billion. We bought Live Golf. Nobody was real happy about that. Another English soccer team with a little better branding. Yeah, $650 billion in PIF. Well, we'll see. The PGA Tour is not too happy with me right now. In the summer of 2023, I started some more investments. But that's for another day. Some call it extravagance. I call it Tuesday. Hey, thanks for watching.